fuck it, and this is consent of the governed,
This
and
is fucking consent of the fucking governed.
yeah, and consent isn't just for sex. No, no.
Oh, hey, I was gonna start a band, man, and I was gonna
Yeah,
call it Dickie McButt Stuff and the Rusty Trombones.
nice, nice. Yeah, a Dickie, Dickie McDirt Stain and the Dirt Knots.
And the rim jobs.
Yeah, yeah, and the brown balloon knot.
Or no, the Dickie McButt Stuff and the rim shots.
Ooh,
That's
now
it.
we're getting there.
Yep.
Now we're getting there. Yeah, that got weird.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't write anything down, didn't have a chance to, as far as what we were going to talk about. And we've been meaning to talk about Antarctica for the last 2 episodes.
That's true. That's true.
And there's a couple of other things, that kind of coincide with the whole Antarctica thing and stuff that's coming out now with UFOs and shit, right? Because you got a lot of people that are out there that are going to say, nope, UFOs are going to be the UFO thing. And then you have other people like myself who would say that they're not actually aliens from somewhere. They're, and even like Tool Lateralis, where they had that, piece of equipment going out. I can't remember what the actual track is called, but the piece of equipment was going out. So they recorded this thing just malfunctioning. And then they put some guy that called into Coast to Coast,
Mm-hmm.
on it, and it was this dude freaking out like they're gonna find me and trace where I am, and he's talking about aliens. This is back in the day, but he's like, he worked at Area 51, and the fact that aliens aren't actually aliens the way we think they are. They're interdimensional beings, and they're trying to fuck us up and all sorts of cool stuff. I actually honestly do believe that. It's weird that that's becoming an actual conversation that's hitting, kind of alt media and different podcasts and stuff like that. I really don't think that like the aliens like little grays and all the bullshit. I don't even know if that exists. I can't say for sure, right? Never met one. But I'm leaning more towards
It's
that.
really hard to say what exactly exists. I mean, I personally, I think that there's all different levels. There's everybody from those, crazy little gray and green dudes to the interdimensional beings and to everyone in between. Shit, I mean, a lot of them could be very, very similar to us, but you know, when the truth comes out there on mainstream media, because for some reason people still need that shit to get their
Right?
fucking news. It drives me insane. It's like at one point in time, you're gonna stop paying attention to this shit because it's bullshit.
Right.
But they just roll along with it.
Yeah, I was
Anyways,
thinking about, yeah, go on.
when that comes out and when it finally hits home to them, oh, I think it'll be incredible, and I think it'll be even mind blowing to people like you and I because we probably wouldn't have thought that they were like this or they were that or we've been working with them or we haven't been or they're
Right.
obviously not all of them are out to kill us, otherwise we would have been gone already. I mean,
Right. Right.
so that doesn't make any sense. Hopefully they're not just trying to use us to harvest our organs or some shit like that and just waiting till we have a lot more of us, or it's, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. You got two possibilities there. They're either good or they're bad.
Right. Yeah.
They're
Benevolent
with you or against you.
So you're absolutely right. And as far as like the new stuff, I was having a thought today on my way, home. I was like, man, I wonder if this pandemic would even exist if nobody saw any masks and the news didn't say anything. Like, I'll say it again. I thought people were going to be like fucking eyes popping out in the street and shit, and this, that you really see like, okay, so every once in a while somebody goes, oh yeah, my friend got it. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't even say anything like how
know?
severe it was or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh yeah, my buddy got that shit. My grandma
Yeah.
got that shit and she was
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah. And
no, dude, honestly, if it wasn't, we probably would have just been like, oh, there's a pretty nasty flu season. So,
right. So, but that really did, I mean, just that one train of thought surprised the hell out of me regarding like what you were saying as far as the media. I was like, Holy shit, that's right. I mean, you take away those two things, just two simple things. If you took away the media narrative and you took away the mask, life as usual, you
Oh
know?
yeah, it was strictly
Right.
driven, and it, not only with pushing the fear on mainstream media, but then also the the ridiculous huge false numbers with COVID, everybody dying from COVID, nothing else for so long. The flu was down like so significantly that it's statistically impossible.
Yeah.
You can't go from like 384,000 cases on the regular to like 1,300, man. I mean
Yeah. Yeah.
that doesn't
It's
make
something
any.
insane, like
And then
98%
you
of them
had
gone.
the purposeful filling of old folks' homes with COVID patients and killing off grandma in all of these major cities. So not only do you have these inflated numbers, but then you also have these and the flu disappeared and all those numbers went to there. But then you have all these intentional deaths, which is not funny at all. It's actually
Right.
incredibly horrific. But you have all of the numbers working on your side to promote this pandemic, this
Hmm.
that you're pushing, and it's still not enough to justify any of these draconian you know
Right.
mandates and laws that they're pushing through.
Right.
When you look at percentages of the population, I mean, we had bigger pandemics back in Woodstock, and I mean, and they still had Woodstock, a bunch of
Right.
dirty hippies. I'm sure they were in social distancing back then.
I bet you, I don't know what the numbers are, but I bet you money says more people in nursing homes died from STDs than COVID, like legit
Yeah, but they
COVID
probably
cases.
said,
Not
"Oh,
like,
COVID, COVID." They had
well, yeah,
syphilis.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably had, yeah, yeah, because they like to bone,
Oh,
those
dude,
old folks are boning like crazy.
they were
Everybody's always like, if I go crazy, don't ever put me in a nursing home. And I'm sitting there going like, dude,
put me up in that bitch.
I'm really thinking about that. I
you
mean,
know, if I'm gonna
yeah.
go, I'm gonna be stoned off prescription pills, part
Ooh.
smashed all the time, and having
Yeah.
sex with old ladies.
Hey, ladies.
My hair, I like three hairs left. Just
Yeah, yeah, just
that
one little knot right there.
girl.
And just still killing it. Better than when you were in a band, like just crushing it.
Just crushing,
Just
crushing,
crushing it.
crushing Nana's punani.
Mm, mm.
Give me some Nana Tang.
Oh man, broken hips for everyone.
Girl, I'm gonna break your hip.
Bust it up. She's wearing the old timey bathing suit. Yeah, that got off topic quick, but that is pretty
What were we
funny, though.
even
I wonder what the
talking about? How do we go there? Oh,
well, the
old folks
pandemic
home.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
wondering about the old folks' homes.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's legit a thing, though. I think yeah, you'd have to go over the numbers, and who knows? I mean, with the PCR tests and everything getting brought from 40 cycles to 30 cycles,
Well, and
all
then
of that
all
stuff
of,
that was
all of the
confused and
false
shit.
positives, man. False positives that are false
Yeah,
negatives or false whatever.
right,
Um, that were showing up too, and then all the ones that I've seen, like with
right.
friends and people that I've known from work, and they're like, "Yeah, I thought I had COVID. I had to take like a few days off, and then I got the long test where they really shoved that swab up your shit."
Oh God,
And I know I won't take it just because of that. It's like if I'm sick, I'm fucking sick.
5 millimeters from the blood-brain barrier, dude.
It's
Dude,
like Arnold.
wait a second. You can convict me for life, off a DNA test swab from my mouth, right? Like that's legit enough to get me, as far as forensic data, to get me to go to jail for life for a murder, let's say, right? But you need to shove this fucking Q-tip this far to figure out if you got a pandemic or not. Like,
Fuck
oh
that.
balls, oh balls. No,
But
no,
yeah,
I'm
man,
not
I
buying it.
I think you're
Fucking
100%
silly.
right. If you didn't have the the
The signs,
falsifying of
right,
information and spoon fed to the majority of people, not
hmm,
only with mainstream media, but all of the social media outlets and everything
hmm,
else, people wouldn't know and people wouldn't care. It was I was talking to my old man about this a couple of years ago, and he was saying there was I can't remember when it was, but there was this giant ass fucking earthquake in China, and nobody
Right.
from the States knew about it until like 3 months later. Like nobody really. I
What?
mean, I guess unless you were a whatever, a seismologist,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you would probably hear it through the grapevine that some shit happened over there.
Right,
But it wasn't on the news or anything. Nobody gave two shits. It didn't get
right,
over here for a while. It takes some time to travel, and that's the thing. So if this was never pushed on the media, the pandemic was never pushed, and it didn't drive these people to absolute fear, because there's people that are just fucking freaking still.
Oh, dude. So, dude, yeah, I always talk about the guys I work with because that's pretty much who I talk to. I mean, at least have face to face conversations with. It's one thing. You and I know each other pretty well. We can have this kind of Zoom call, kind of thing, and it's like talking, like back in the day. But most of the time, you got to be like face to face with somebody to really get their, body
Mhm.
language and all that jazz, and feed off of that stuff. And that's why, talking to one of the guys, got his second shot, the Moderna shot, the other day, and wiped him out for 13 hours. He's like, it felt like I got hit in the arm with a baseball bat. And then he's like, I went and took the dogs for a walk, and then all of a sudden, like, came back in. And by this time, it's like 9 o'clock. And he's like, I was down for the count, couldn't do jack shit. 13 hours. He's like, and then I felt great, and I was just hungry. So I woke up and I got some food. And I was sitting there going, like, you just put your body through an amazing amount of mess, And he didn't even realize that the Moderna shot was like the mRNA, you know. And I was just like, holy buckets, man! You don't even have any idea. You just
Well,
took
hey
took
man,
the
let's
narrative
let's
and rolled with it.
freaking knock on wood, hope and pray that you know these so-called,
Shots.
yeah, I don't know what to call them because we're on YouTube and shit, so I'm not sure
The
if I should.
prick.
Yeah, the prick. You're getting that prick. Oh,
The
prick.
jab. The
Um,
prick.
but yeah, so these pricks, so these pricks,
So these dirty pricks.
these dirty pricks right here.
Yeah.
Um, well, people are so apt to get them, and we don't even have any sort of idea on the long term effects. I mean, we have a small idea, but dude, they're we're a bunch of guinea pigs for an experimental prick.
That's that's exactly what I told him. I said,
And
I'm so glad you
wouldn't
decided to
you
be the
want to
guinea pig.
hang tight for a bit and see what happens? I mean, for a virus that in all reality in our age group has like a 0.04% morbidity
Right.
rate. I
So
mean,
this is the same dude that like legitimately just told me today in the same conversation that he got swine flu. I never met anybody who got swine flu. He's like, oh, I got it, and it was just a flu. And I'm sitting there going like, dude, that's SARS-CoV-1.
yeah.
You know, like, wait, now you're up in arms, and all of a sudden you got to get this shot and everything
You're
else.
like, yeah, I took a big old rail of swine flu.
So
Woo!
I'm sitting there going like, dude, you just basically stated that you made an ignorant decision that you can't take back. You got SARS-CoV-1 once. Now you're gonna deal with SARS-CoV-2, but it's all of a sudden like, oh shit, I better.
No, but it's also COVID-19, and I don't remember any COVID-19 in SARS-CoV-1.
Well, if they called it the bat flu, would that change everything? Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, you think it would change anything if they called this the bat flu? Like, you know,
Well, yeah, because I mean, it would sound pretty stupid, but
it would sound like a Batman freaking weapon, wouldn't it?
the bat flu. Batman gave that bitch the bat flu.
Yeah,
Along with some bat herp.
yeah, it does kind of sound like a fucking comic book weapon.
Some bat clap. Gave him.
Jesus. Oh man. Okay, let's moving forward.
If they push it, if it had the same stigma around, in the mainstream media, if they pushed it,
Right.
they called it the bat flu, I think everybody would be probably scared as hell of it still. I mean, watching people just still freak out and please wear a mask, and it's like,
Mm, yeah.
And then they get one shot and they're 80 years old and they're going, I'm fine.
Right.
And I'm like,
I heard a guy in a parking lot. He was an older gentleman talking to another guy, like, yep, going on vacation, screw all of this. I got my shot, I got my TSA extra check. And I was like, sheep, TSA extra checkpoint thingy toke, double sheep. I was like, oh man, you just admitted that. And that's when it was like, oh shit. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
people are
maybe,
honestly afraid of this virus.
and their government, and their government.
I don't know how anybody can believe in a fucking government official at this point in time. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? At what point, and everybody always, it's, you always ask anybody, oh yeah, they're a politician, they're a piece of shit. Well, then why the fuck are we listening to them? I mean,
Right?
tell me this, man. Like, they're bad. We've known they've been bad for years and years and years. And a lot of these career politicians, like everybody's, and there's definitely hypocrites on both sides. But I go to,
Right.
the far left because, God, are
It's
they
just blatant.
hypocritical? They're bitching and
So
moaning about career politicians, and then they're pom pomming, senile Joe, every time they see him. I mean, the guy can't make it up a flight of stairs, but it's all right. You can make decisions that directly affect my life and how much money they take from me.
right.
And they're just all about it, which my
Dude,
internet connection is unstable. Hold on a second.
no, I saw you tweak out for a second there, but you're all good now.
Oh, good. Hold on. Let's make
Yeah.
sure.
Well, of course you're gonna run like 75 diagnostics.
Oh, we've got 16 gigaflops going on right here.
No, look at this floppy drive.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'll give you a floppy drive.
So yeah, you
So I gave that gal my floppy drive, and she turned it into a hard drive.
Put it right up in that disc. Slip the disc.
Put my floppy disk in her slot, and it turned into a hard disk.
Okay, so we've been pretty
talking about
this one. That's pretty good. We're yeah. So I was gonna say regarding the whole politicians and just random, shitty logic statements, right? So if you don't trust the politicians and you're sitting there going like, if we didn't have the politicians, well, there would be like this monopoly on power, like the mafia. And it's like, what the fuck is the difference between what you have now? Like, so you're afraid of what
shit.
You're afraid of what you have now. But like, but
these people do not deny for 1 second that these politicians are dirty mafia taking kickbacks. I mean, they're doing whatever the hell, and they're taking your money. And you're voting for them.
Oh, and they're using it poorly. Very poorly. Against you, actually.
Against you.
They're militarizing your police, and you hate the police, so you want to defund the police, but you don't want to defund it in a way that actually matters.
And that's something.
Who the fuck
That's something we gotta. I just wanted to touch base on too with that fucking shooting.
You were totally gonna miss Antarctica again. It's
are we? Oh fuck, we are gonna miss Antarctica.
This is gonna be a running joke where
we're
gonna try and talk about Antarctica every episode.
I just want to. What are you talking about today? And fucking Antarctica, baby! Woo!
We're gonna do it. Fuck.
Oh shit, we forgot to talk about Antarctica.
Great.
No, I just wanted to touch base on that, and dude, that is a
powder keg.
I mean, if I was more, I don't know. It's almost so ridiculous. It seems like a conspiracy theory, like maybe a false flag, but I don't think it was in this case. But we're talking about a 20-year veteran mistaking your taser for your gun.
Well, you're talking about that one. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, man, this does not make a lick of sense. You've been in the force for 20 fucking years. Your taser and your gun are on two different. You're not gonna. And when you're holding it, you're not gonna realize like, oh, this feels like a live loaded pistol. No, it's my taser.
Oh, can you read that? Oh, you can't read it. Oh yeah, there you go.
It's a gun. It's a gun. It's a taser. Oh shit.
Dude, oh, I swear to God, he had a gun. Oh well, that was a BB gun.
Well,
Yeah, no,
and
it was a.
herein lies
Oh
the
no, it
problem.
was a
I mean,
sandwich. Yeah,
if this is 100%, it wasn't a false flag, that has got to be the dumbest officer on the face of the earth. And what in the hell is she even doing with a pistol?
well, so case
I
law
mean,
would
when
actually.
when you saw the body cam, the body footage or the footage from the body cam, dude, that thing was like shaking in front of her partner, like he could have shot him. It was like, what the fuck are you doing, lady?
Yeah.
At this
When was
point,
the
you are
last
not a
time?
cop with a gun. You are a crazy chick with a pistol.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
And it just so happened to to take place, just same state, just a little north of where the old George Floyd shit happened. It's like,
right.
I mean, like, it's so ridiculous that I can't honestly believe it. Like, outside of, like, it has to be some sort of conspiracy. Like, somebody had to do this because it was as bad as the George Floyd stuff. Like, Well, but herein lies the problem too. It's the way the media portrays it. In this
Right.
case, the body cam footage doesn't lie. And this chick
Right.
came out and said before the body cam footage came out that she grabbed her gun instead of her taser. It's like,
So there's one good thing that I've seen come from all of this stuff is that the people that don't like cops, no matter what side of the aisle they're on,
and I
are
really
still
don't,
sitting there. Right. Are
I'm not
still
like a
sitting there going,
fan
"Oh, I
of
don't like
police
cops."
officers. I don't like the pom pom, but I mean, at the
Right.
same time, you know, they deserve a little respect for what they're doing, unless they're dicks. And there's a lot of dicks out there, but there's a lot of cool cops too. I mean,
Well, I'll tell you this.
that's like
There,
classifying like, that bartender was a real asshole and he overcharged me and served me shitty weak drinks. All bartenders are assholes.
right. Yeah. Painting with that white paintbrush is never good. Right.
But why does it
I
have
think.
to be white?
Oh, I don't know. So, so painting with the wide paintbrush, not
Oh, you
white.
said wide.
Yeah, the
I
wide.
thought you said white.
Right. We're not making happy little fucking trees here. So if somebody's going to say, all cops suck ass, yeah, terrible fucking statement because not all cops suck ass. I have met a couple, and I've met a lot of cops, but I've only met a couple good ones, right? And I mean a couple good ones where they're actually doing their job kind of. I mean, they're still misinformed and they're still hired within this range of IQ, which is really weird, where you can't be too smart to be a cop. Like you won't get hired if you're too smart. That's the only profession actually in America where you can make sure that somebody's, basically um, a little bit of prejudice against people. Like if you or I probably went, I don't know what my IQ is, don't really care, but odds are if we went there and tried to get a job and our IQ was over, medium to high, somewhere in that
75,
vicinity.
like Forrest
Well,
Gump.
see, yeah. So basically, if you have 3-digit
They were my
IQ,
magic legs. Mama said they'd take me anywhere.
here's my taser. Look at my taser.
I thought it was my taser.
So
Jenny, why
see,
don't you
honestly,
tase me?
the ball sack. Mm, mm. We're just fucking around now. No, but if these people are being hired because they're stupid and it's backed up by case law, like why? Why are they being hired because they're stupid? Is it because smart cops ask questions of why they're, instead of protecting and serving, they're just basically being a pirate? And I think that's kind of where it went because the best cops I've ever met were back in the day, the ones that would drive you home once you got
Yeah.
pulled over, the ones that would, you know, talk to you about, even super troopers, even if they were doing their job and doing it poorly, they'd at least have a smile on their face and just start,
Oh, dude,
chatting
I
it up
remember
with you,
remember
that kind of
when you
stuff.
guys got arrested and
Yeah,
we were playing that show
yeah, yeah.
right before. I
They,
mean,
they came to the
even
show.
even the cops there were like
Yeah.
totally cool, and then
Yeah.
fast track you guys through, came to the show afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
So there are good cops out there that will at least, treat you with some respect. I think there's still those today. They're just few and far between, and all the other ones are, I think, in that range where they're so dumb and they might. I don't even know if they know it, but they just always feel like they're getting beat down. I bet by people who are smarter than them, and there's always that stigma, like maybe they got beat up in high school and all that bullshit.
I
Who
don't know,
gives a damn?
man.
You know
Like
what?
these,
Everybody got beat up in high school, and I didn't turn out to be a dick cop. My mom's ex-husband was a cop. I lived with that guy for fucking 13 years. He was a dick. Taught me a lot of stuff. He was a smart dude.
he was a smart dick, but he was still a dick.
He was still a dick, and I mean, he did what he did, and but he was
Technically, he was a
dick.
dick. Well, if he was a private investigator.
Yeah, then he'd be a dick. But he was a dick anyway. So
then you'd be a dick squared if you were a private investigator.
Yeah, I don't even know if my stepbrother and sister would watch this, if they'd be like, "Hey, that's my dad." I don't even know if the guy's still alive. That's pretty terrible.
That is pretty terrible, actually.
Yeah. I grew up with him for like 13 years. That's like some psychopathic shit. Like one of us should have reached out to each other, right?
Yeah.
See, I told you he's a dick.
What if his name was Dick? He was a private detective, and he was a raging dick, so he'd be a dick. Dick.
Cubed.
Dick Cube. Dick. He would play
Cube Dick.
Cube Dick. He'd play he would play in Dickie McButt stuff.
Yes, he would. He would.
But he would be Dickie McButt stuff and the anal beads.
Or babies. Yeah.
Anal beads.
Yeah. He'd be.
Let's stop there. Antarctica. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say too. This is not gonna stop because there's only two of us, and so we're gonna.
Yeah, logic doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
What the fuck, man?
I don't know. I was trying something out. We could have sent another. Now we're just fucking off. We could have just sent. Thanks for watching, by the way, everybody. Who here. Don't do that enough. Thanks. But yeah. I mean, now all of a sudden we don't even have time for the whole Antarctica thing. I mean,
was this planned, Sully?
It's not. Everything's a conspiracy, dude.
It is. It's all a fucking conspiracy. Even this show about conspiracies is a conspiracy. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really exist.
Yeah. What did I say before on the other one? Burger King does offer the Whopper, but is it food? So, yeah. Anyway, Antarctica. I think we got some time for Antarctica. We probably got like 13 minutes for Antarctica.
I want to make sure I've got a good smoke in me and maybe another cocktail before, not in me, but made before.
Oh yeah.
I'll switch. Maybe I'll have some wine. I like wine.
Maybe you'll have some wine.
Me, I want wine. I'm whining for wine. Me, wine.
So now that we've lost all of our watchers and listeners, due to too much butt stuff and old people fucking and
hey man, you're the one that brought all this shit up. I'm just following along.
Yeah, following orders like the Nazis. You're supposed to stop me. No.
Yeah, the Nazis had flair. They made the Jews wear.
True. This is true. You guys should all be very good, stewards and wear your star. So Antarctica. We have 10 minutes to talk about Antarctica.
Au contraire, D-bag. We got about 8.
Okay. So
Antarctica, maybe, possibly, hopefully, is where we will start to see some of the coverage, mainstream media coverage that would back up a lot of these claims, and not claims, just release of, classified information, the declassifying of information on UFOs and whatnot. I'm sure that will eventually lead to Antarctica, which, man, if any of the stuff I heard about Antarctica is even remotely possibly correct, dude, this is really going to change history. It's really going to change history.
So I was discussing Operation High Jump, which is a declassified operation, which was something I got turned on to by the Sam Tripoli podcast and was listening to this dude I never knew Operation High Jump existed. I knew that there were some questionable things that happened regarding the Nazis, and probably one of the reasons why, they went down into like the Argentina area and used that as a refuge afterwards, because it
That
is
would
pretty
make a
close.
lot of sense, actually.
Right,
That would make
right.
a
It is
lot of
one of the.
sense.
You actually, if you want to go to Antarctica, you have to go to Argentina first. If you're going by plane, if you're going by sea, you can go whichever way you want, right? But anyway,
What if you're traveling there by foot?
good luck, and
Good
yeah,
luck and Godspeed, you
you
dumb
got speed.
bastard.
Hope you can walk on water because the jungle sucks. So no, I mean it was obviously we'd all heard about these like Nazi bases and stuff, and then you look at weird things like the Avengers, or fucking Captain America, or things where they're talking about Hydra. You know, um, I'm not saying Hydra was a legit thing, but there was the actual Nazi bases, and all that stuff's declassified, so you can go look it up. Um, but it's very odd to find out from somebody like, holy shit, you know, there may be something to Himmler's big occult push, right? And all of a sudden, our a whole fighting battalion getting just jacked up and decimated in a matter of minutes, as they were trying to go into Antarctica, and then see the pictures that they actually took, where it might not just be an ice cap. There was actually green grass and ground, and unfrozen
I got another
lakes
band name:
and all sorts
General
of.
Himmler and the Heimlich maneuvers.
Ooh,
Good. Sorry.
ooh,
That up.
that's all right. That's all right. So
No,
mm,
I think you're correct about that. What if they did get down there and they actually did? This is not the way it's
well,
supposed to be.
it's not the way it's supposed to be. Um, you're protecting this
Well,
stuff, and
and
then
and
but here's where the conspiracy gets in: is, well, all of a sudden now the Nazis are in cahoots with these, interdimensional beings, that are bent on domination. And I'm sitting there thinking about that, going like, that's a stretch, right? Who the
well,
fuck knows on that one? That's a
yeah,
stretch.
it's a wicked stretch, Sully. But look at how Hollywood kind of gets you ready for that shit, which is really weird.
Hmm.
Look at like a horrible movie, but Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls.
Can't
You
say I
see,
watched it. I was really afraid of
it,
being super disappointed.
you will be. It's very disappointing. I mean,
I
fucking dude,
won't be
Harrison
then.
Ford, dude, he's getting old, man. Let him get old for fuck's sake. Um,
Let fucking die, bro.
fucking die already, bro.
What are you doing, bro?
Fuck you doing? Still alive.
Dude,
Um,
life ain't that cool. Fuck die, bro.
but
I know
that
what I mean.
that was actually the premise of the movie. It was Nazis, not really work in cahoots with interdimensional beings, but that was the Crystal Skull was associated with the Mayan religion and these interdimensional
Oh
beings
wow.
that they were. So I mean, so it's basically saying this to a
That.
T, and you know how Hollywood does that. How they kind of get you ready for something new technology, whatever. Whether it be like, in the case of like very subtly, like in Face Off back in '97,
Right.
very teeny tiny part of the movie when they're in the facility where they're getting the face
Right.
transferred, all
Right.
that. Another movie that was, but it was one of Cage's better ones. Anyways, um,
That's not a very high bar.
you know,
Okay,
but
go on.
in that scene, there is an fucking actual legit iPad.
Hmm.
There's a fucking iPad right there, and not like, I mean, and this is
It
before.
had the little circle that you
Oh,
press and
dude,
everything.
it was a
Okay.
fucking iPad.
Damn.
Yeah. So I mean, you have very very subtle, you know,
Yeah.
imagery, maybe little things here and there. Another good example was James Bond. I can't remember which one. It was the one with the ice thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think
Yep.
the one that was
Yeah.
Halle Berry at that one. Well, in there you had the Skidoo Rev Chassis snowmobile,
Okay.
and that came out long before uh at least a couple years before the actual Rev chassis was released to the public.
That doesn't surprise me though. I mean, knowing some of the like family member of mine working to works on safety for Land Rover Jaguar, and he's driving around most likely a 2023, Land Rover right now that's got like styrofoam on the panels and different headlights and stuff like that because he's supposed to be putting miles on it to test it, right?
Mhm.
So some of these things, like maybe they said, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
No,
That's
no,
all.
I
Here's a
totally understand it like
prototype.
that.
Here's a
But
prototype, and it looks
but
futuristic.
a lot of times when you're
this
going
all-
like 6, 7, 8, 10 years, or 6, 7
Right.
years prior
The
to
iPad thing is funky though, because that
It's
was
fucking
that
crazy.
was a stretch. Right. That's a stretch.
But I was gonna say on that note, dude, I think we should wrap this up. I gotta take a quick phone call,
Mm.
and then I'll go ahead and jump on the other meeting.
Yeah. Cool. So everybody out there, I'm really sorry about the very short Antarctica.
We'll actually talk about, and we will dedicate a solid show to Antarctica. And we'll give you like details and pictures. We'll do screen shares and shit. We actually need to do this so that we have to, find all this information.
We're making the promise. We do.
I'm making the promise, and I'm dragging this bastard in with me.
Yeah, it's true. Because I've been trying to do this for a while, and now we're finally going to get to it, which is probably going to be like next week or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. We'll see what happens. We got cool interviews coming up and all sorts of shit. So yeah, sign off. I hope you guys enjoy.
Sayonara, bitches.